It's November 1st. After the Passover meal, Jesus takes the disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane, where he knows he'll be arrested. Judas brings the temple guards and soldiers, and they arrest Jesus. Peter attempts to defend Jesus by striking Malchus, the high priest's servant, with a sword, cutting off his ear. But Jesus repairs the damage by healing the man's ear and explains the fallacy of Peter's well-intentioned effort. He says to Peter in Matthew 26:53, "Or do you think that I couldn't ask my Father and he wouldn't even now send me more than 12 legions of angels? How then would the scriptures be fulfilled that it must be so?" At first blush, it might appear a travesty of justice. Was Jesus falsely accused? Yes. Was he innocent? Yes. Was he a victim? Absolutely not. There should be no confusion on this matter. Jesus was not a victim. He willingly went to the cross. He willingly suffered. He willingly offered his sinless life as the atonement sacrifice for mankind. His death was foreordained in the counsels of God before the foundation of the world. His death was ordained. His death was ordained in the counsels of God before the foundation of the world. Jesus knew what had to be done, and despite the awful experience that awaited him in the crucifixion, he set aside his human desire to avoid the pain and willingly submitted to what he knew was the higher goal and his Father's will. Why did God ordain this? What was God's motivation for sending Jesus to such a brutal and painful death? Well, it's very simple. His love for humanity. His love for you. God wants you to be reconciled to him, and there was no other way to accomplish this. You see, God always has the highest intentions for you. 1 Corinthians 2:9 says, "Things which an eye didn't see and an ear didn't hear, which didn't enter into the heart of man, these God has prepared for those who love him." Here's today's application. Have you adequately internalized the love that God has for you? Do you realize what he has provided for you in the atonement? Not just forgiveness, but righteousness, new life, freedom from guilt and condemnation, adoption, a new identity. These are yours for the asking. Are you walking in the reality of these amazing gifts that God has provided for you? Now here's today's prayer.